And paranoia is a huge thing, and I know that psychological problems have shot up terribly. I was speaking with a doctor, and he was saying that over the past 5 years, 10 years, or so, not even 10 years, 5 years, he said that the mental illness among young black men, he said, was, as a doctor, he said it's frightening, and he said it's skunk. So it's quite interesting. Skunk is similar to skank again. So, you know, the two similarities, because we know that it's poisoning our young men so much.
Poison. Wow, that's a deep one.
Yeah.
Also, skank, it says to swindle or deceive. Yeah, it was skanked him, man. We used to say that in school. Man, I got skanked. Man, took my things when I weren't looking. He tricked me. He deceived me. We're deceiving ourselves, skanking on our banking.
Or are we being deceived while we're skanking on the banking? Because there has to be a level of deception that we've accepted, of course, but someone has to be deceiving us in order for us to continue to accept that.
That's right. That's right.
So it's skanking on both levels.
It's on both levels, on two sides. We're being deceived and we are swindling. We're swindling and deceiving. And that, you know what that swindle thing brought into mind? Something you said last week, that particularly the male doesn't want to register.
Yeah.
He does not want to register, and that allows him to swindle, really, his way through our society. Well, so that we don't have to build. We don't have to register, so that we don't have to be seen to be building.
And I think that's the thing, because but it's also ultimately he's actually cheating himself. We're robbing ourselves when we don't, because it stops us from being able to grow. Because you can't grow without banking. It just doesn't happen. You can't grow without investing.
Yes.
We can't grow or develop without us saying exactly where we stand, making our word bond, stating our intention, then moving on. It's just not possible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We are skanking on our banking when we're supposed to be building our society.
Sleeping on our
We're
post.
sleeping on our post. So it is a dance. And one of the dances that came to mind also, that although it's not called skanking, but kind of registers as a good example of what our dance is doing in the society, is limbo dancing.
Okay.
In limbo dancing, the focus is to get lower and lower, to bend backwards to go underneath a bar. Society sets a bar and says to us, if you want to come in the castle, you got to bend, and get lower and lower. We end up getting lower and lower, trying to go through.
And that's really funny, because when we look at all of those films that we've watched in the past, so let me speak for myself. When I look at all those films that I've watched in the past about tourists going to different parts of the Caribbean and watching them skanking, and they put the pole like this for the black people, and the pole is like that for the white people.
Yeah, but we get under it, don't we? we get under, brothers get under.
Whichever. So it doesn't matter how low they make the bar for us, we always rise to that challenge.
Not rise.
Lower ourselves to that challenge.
That's right.
And again, it's about us learning about what our standard is, what status we're supposed to be attaining to, and moving towards that.
There's a part in the Holy Quran that talks about the devil's prostration, and that's where we was talking about usury last week. That, you know, it's a prostrate. It's the devil's touch, usury, which we said is a sin, and it's called the devil's prostration.
Yeah.
Now I was thinking about that, devil's prostrate. When you prostrate in Islam, we bend forwards and bow down. So the devil's prostration must be the opposite of that, which is a backwards prostration. And when you're doing a limbo and you bend backwards, it's not easy to get back up.
No, of course
from
not.
that position. So that came to mind also, the limbo, the devil's prostration.
Did you see the other definition of limbo as well?
Go ahead.
It is the supposed region intermediate between heaven and hell.
Come on.
For the unbaptized.
That's right.
Also, there's another one, in limbo, not knowing the result or next stage of something and being powerless to influence it.
Paralyzed in cyberspace, in limbo. A man's in limbo, he's not growing and he's not falling.
And in reality, if we're not growing, we actually are falling.
In truth, yeah.
We just don't see it. Because if we're not moving up, you know, closer to
Stagnant.
God, that's right, stagnation leads to death, because we don't even realise that we're actually slipping backwards. We're on a backward slide. So limbo is also, it's also to do with our inactivity.
Okay, it's closing comment time, sister. We are skanking on the banking in relations to building our society. We as a people are skanking on the banking. We are outside of the Englishman's castle. So, if we recognize that we are outside and not trying to get inside, it should be intelligent there for us to build our own society, yeah? But we are skanking on our banking, and banking is necessary to build a society. We're skanking on the banking, meaning a reservoir of experience that we can draw from.
Skills bank.
Our skills bank is dwindling. Yeah, we are swindling ourselves when we do not deposit those who know into a bank so that those who don't know can draw from that bank. We are skanking in terms of swindling and deceiving ourselves to our own birthright, which is family, community and nation, because we are so busy dancing for somebody else by the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down and there we wept when we remembered Zion. We're by the rivers dancing because the enemy asks us to sing a song, and wherever there's singing of songs, there's dancing.
So their memories were working. Their memory bank was
at that point, that's the first generation who remembered they had the memory bank. So the song asks, why you skanking, you black brother? Why you skanking, you black sister? On the banking. Why? When we should be building our society. Why are we doing this? We have lost our aim, our focus and our purpose. Can we not see that in order to build a successful society, we need to accept our own, register with our own, and be ourselves? Brothers and sisters, thank you for listening.
Go ahead.
More next time, inshallah.
Sure.
Peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
And we clear.
Well done. You seem to have just as much tongue twisting as I do. What is it?
Because I used to be an MC. Bang dilly 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 dang 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 dilly.
Because you were skanking on the banking, aren't you?
Yeah.
How long have you been registered? Not long.
How long time me register here, sir? Why you know that still?
Well done.
Yeah. Limbo.
That was really interesting. Well
We
done.
limbo.
Yes, we are.